So yesterday we saw about like how we can create our own image, right? So today we'll try to create an image based on a production level setup. Like when you work in startup or in company, you'll be using some kind of backend APIs for creating a numerous Python APIs, right? So in production ready setup, the um, creation of image will be slightly different from what we did yesterday or in previous video. So today we'll try to build a Docker image where we'll be creating few APIs by using FastAPI. If you don't know FastAPI, it's totally okay. You'll not need to know everything about FastAPI. Small info will be enough for you. So without wasting your further time, let's head towards terminal and let's try to create a small hands-on. Okay, so first of all we need to create one folder. So I'll simply create a folder named um, oh, let's say a Docker Fast API, right? And let me check whether it's created or not. So there you go, we have created it. So I just need to simply go to the Docker Fast API. So inside the Docker Fast API, what I need to do is that I need to create few files. So let's create few files. That is basically um, main.py, requirements.txt, and a Docker file, which is important, right? So let me check whether they have been created or not. Yes, so they have been created. So let's do one thing. Let's open VS Code and then let's try to write code over there. So I'll open VS Code and let's wait for a few seconds. So yeah, there you go, it has been opened, but some again different files have been opened. So we need to open the correct folder. So there you go. Yeah, so here you can see, let me just magnify it. Yes, so here you can see that these three files that we just now created has been created successfully. So now let's try to write code by using FastAPI. So it's really very simple. So let's first write this code and then I'll explain you everything line by line. So here I'll first import um, FastAPI. Those who have used FastAPI before, they will know what I'm doing. And even if you know less about FastAPI, or if you don't know anything about FastAPI, that's totally fine, right? If you have worked with Express.js, it's kind of similar, because what I'm currently doing is it's basically simple. So basically I'm creating one sample endpoint, which will be root endpoint, root function, and here simply a return message, and a return message basically will be hello from FastAPI. And let's create another endpoint that will be health. You can create any endpoints you want. So this is just for giving you guys example. So let me just create so here it will basically return the it will basically just return the status, right? So here let me put status as okay. So we have written the fast API code. Now quickly let me write the requirement.txt, which will be fast API I'll need UVCon. So see, so fast API is basically because we are using fast API as a backend, and UVCon is to run this fast API. If you know Node.js, in that we usually use NodeMon. Same as that, you can say UVCon does the same thing. So once it's saved, let me head back to a terminal, and I'll simply run pip install um, our requirements.txt, and it will try to download all the necessary packages. So there you go. And here it should be downloaded. So let me refresh it again. So here you can see that all the packages has been downloaded. Now the most important thing, how now you have to write a Docker file. So now let's head back to our node screen. So here you can see Docker file. So some of the portion of this Docker file will be same as that we have done for previous video. So the first thing is using official Python image. So it basically means that creating a container using pre-existing Python image, which is this 3.10 slim, right? Second thing is we need to set up a working directory that will be /app inside the container for organized manner, right? Third will be we need to copy the dependency file first. Dependency file basically means this requirement.txt, and the reason why we need to copy the file first is because for a Docker caching. A Docker caching basically means that suppose if you have requirement.txt, and suppose you changed main.py, or if you change some of your code, but if your requirements are same, it will use the pre-existing requirements and it will not run this 3 and 4 lines of commands again. It just makes your rebuild slower if you run this line again. So in order to make your rebuild faster, it basically caches the requirements.txt. Now what if the requirements are changed? So if the requirements are changed, the caching basically fails, and then these 3 and 4 they needs to be run again. So we are basically doing this to make our container or the build more efficient and to use less computational resources, right? So it simply means copy requirement.txt to this root directory, which is /app, right? After that, this is installing dependencies, that is run pip install no cache dir and this flag and this requirements.txt to install all the dependencies. Now what is this no cache dir? This cache and this cache is totally different, and why so? So let me explain you this. So this command or this flag, what it does is that it basically means that the cache of pip install should not be stored inside the Docker, because that cache will not be used in any of the places. It just makes your build a bit consume more memory. So let's say if we didn't use this flag, the size of our build will be, let's say, suppose 230 megabytes, and if we basically use this flag, the size of our build will be 220 megabytes. So basically we are just saving 10 megabits, but that basically makes sense, or that basically makes your container more efficient or your build more efficient. So try to understand these two caching are totally different, right? Now this copying application code, so it's similar to what we did in previous code, that is copying all the files from source to destination, right? After that, as we have created API and we need to expose the port and all, we need to send requests. So this basically means we are exposing the 8000 port of the container. Now this expose port is basically for documentation purpose. This command does not exposes the port automatically, right? So this is just if we are seeing the logs of the Docker. So this basically is for documentation purpose, right? You are very free to remove this line as well, but for company standards, or let's say a standardized way of writing Docker file, it demands this documentation process as well. So if we see this seventh command, which is running the FastAPI. So basically this command, what it does is that it basically runs your a main.py, which is your main application, from where all the you can say your main.py is basically a main power station that gives power to each and every houses, right? So it's necessary to run this main.py by using this command, that is unicon main colon app host 0.0.0.0 this port and 8000. So here basically we are exposing the port 8000 that the Docker container is going to use. Now the important thing is this, that is the host, which is this basically means that listening to all network interfaces. If we just simply use this, that is 127.0.0.1, which will be the local host of the Docker container, and being the local host of Docker container, we will not be able to send request outside the container, or from outside of the container to this Docker container. So that's the reason why we have given 0.0.0.0, so that it listens to all network interfaces, because your browser is going to be outside the container, and that's the reason why we are using this, and this is the important thing you need to make sure. So now let's do one thing. Now let's write our Docker file as we have understood it. What it says, could not resolve actually we have downloaded it. What's the issue? So it says that it has installed it, but I don't know what's the problem it's facing. So let me just refresh it once again, or reload it once again. Okay, so let's write this Docker file, and let's see how it works. So first thing that's going to be is the image, that is from Python colon 3.10.10 slim. This is the image that we are going to use of Python. Then let's set work dir, working directory. Then let's copy first requirements dot txt. After that you need to run pip install no cache dir in this directory, and using our flag requirements.txt. After that we need to copy all the files to the destination. We need to expose 8000. This is just for documentation, and the last command will be running the command, which will be unicon manstack uvcon, right? So as I said, the um, uvcon command, right? Uvcon main app, then host, then this 0.0.0.0, and then the port, right? This port and the this port that we are going to expose for Docker. Now the one thing is that uh, here okay, so I'll explain this during build. So let's check, is it correct? Yeah, so it's correct. Now let's we have saved this. Now let's get back to the terminal and let's build our Docker image. So the command for building Docker image is docker build build this is tag flag, which basically means name, which will be fast API app, and dot basically means in current directory. Let me hit enter. Okay, the one error that is we haven't set destination. Now let's build again. I think now it should work. So it's running this, that is run pip install requirements.txt, and it's downloading all the things that is required. So yeah, the Docker image is built. So now let's check it with this command docker images, and fast API image is created. Now let me get back to the node screen. So here you can see we have built the Docker image. Now we need to run it, and we need to run it as a background task, the same that I have explained you in part 1, where or part 2, where I have told you how we can run the image as a background task, right? Where we have used nginx web server running on the browser, right? So here basically we will run this command, that is docker run d, basically means detached, means background process. This p means the port. These two ports we have given, basically we have done the port mapping, and this is the name of the image. Now this is the host port, means the port of our browser, you can say, and this is port of the Docker container, right? Now we can give any port we want for our host port, right? So basically we have done port mapping over here. When we go to the browser and click on localhost, or when we go to this link 8000, now this 8000, it says that it's referring to the 8000 of a Docker container. It goes to the Docker and Docker runs the container, right? Now let's say we have here we have given 5000. We can give anything we want. Then we need to go to the localhost 5000, where 5000 is referring to the fast API on Docker, which is hosted on 8000 port. So this is how we basically do the port mapping while running the container. So let's do one thing, let's run this container and let's try to open it on the browser. So let me run docker run this detached, then let me do port mapping, which is 8000 colon 8000, and the name of the image, which is going to be the fast API app, right? And when we'll click on enter, it's the container is running. Now let's head back to the browser and let's try to open it, right, which is local host uh, 8000, and let's click on it. And here you can see that our fast API APIs is running, and here the message you can see that hello from fast API. So our API port is running very well, and if I go to this endpoint, that is health, and here it should give me status okay. So our API is working perfectly fine. We have built the image, we have run the container in background, we have opened the browser, we have checked everything is working. Now let me show you one thing, and that is going to be the docker logs. And here we'll simply need the image id. So let me first go to this, and here as the container is running, that's the reason here it has showed me. So if I go to docker uh, logs, and let me paste the container id and click on it. So here you can see all the logs. It says that a server is started, waiting for application startup complete, UVcon it's running. After that, when we hit the root server, it says 200 okay, and here when we hit the another health port, it again says okay. So yeah, we have successfully created the image. We have also seen the logs. We have basically created a production ready setup of docker. So yeah, basically this was all about today's video. We have created our own image by using some production ready rules, or let's say production ready setup. And yes, that was all from my side. And in next video we'll basically see about docker ignore, and we'll try to create a complete CI/CD pipeline by using GitHub Actions. Um, if I have a free subscription of AWS, I'll also try to um, host a small project, and I'll try to explain you how we can do this. So yeah, so this was all about it. Let me make a quick revision. So here we have so basically we created a folder where we have written the code of main.py, where we have created a server APIs, couple of APIs, and then we built this Docker file, some requirements.txt for dependencies, and we have created the image, we have built the image, and we basically run that image as a background process. So let me quickly stop that thing first, and let me paste this. So yeah, we have stopped the container. Now if I check this ps yeah, so the container image is basically a container is basically stopped, and we have exited it. Now I'll just simply delete it. So yeah, this was all for today's video. Thanks a lot. Leave a like if you have loved this video, and I'll see you next time. Till then, happy coding. Bye.